Ancient Greece unfolds in a breathtaking panorama, a land ripe with history and untold potential. From the annals of time, the narrator proclaims, Alexander, a young prince with unparalleled ambition and a vision to unite the world. In Alexander's chambers, sunlight illuminates the intense focus of a young conqueror amidst maps of future conquest. Alexander, brow furrowed, marks his path with a stylus, his determination a silent promise of victory. Around him, Parmenion and Hephaestion stand as pillars of counsel, their concern painting a vivid tableau of strategic deliberation. The air hangs heavy with unspoken ambitions, each mote of dust dancing in the light, a witness to the birth of an empire. On the fields of Chaeronea, a young Alexander leads the Macedonian cavalry into a maelstrom of clashing steel and thundering hooves. Amidst the deafening din of war, Alexander's unmatched tactical brilliance sparks unwavering determination in his army. The ground trembles under the weight of war as soldiers fall, their cries swallowed by the relentless fury of battle. Under the unforgiving sun, the Macedonian army fights with a fierce determination, inspired by their young leader's courage. Alexander's formidable forces encircle the defiant city of Thebes, forging a relentless ring of steel. Amidst the chaos, colossal stones catapult through the air, relentlessly pounding the city walls. Thebes, after a bitter and bloody struggle, succumbs to the overwhelming might of Alexander's army. Perched atop his majestic warhorse Bucephalus, Alexander surveys the devastation, his face a chilling mask of ruthless resolve. In a chilling decree, Alexander commands the razing of Thebes, an act of brutal warning echoing through history. Alexander's formidable army floods across the Hellespont, bridging Europe and Asia in a display of raw power. Upon the shores of Asia, Alexander, radiant in armor, prepares to stake his claim with a symbolic act of defiance. With a triumphant surge, Alexander hurls his spear, marking the sandy beach as the first conquest in his grand ambition. The spear pierces the earth, a bold declaration of Alexander's intent to seize the Persian Empire. At the Battle of Granicus River, Alexander's unwavering gaze pierces through the vast Persian army, a gleaming sea of steel under the relentless sun. Though outnumbered, Alexander's strategic brilliance ignites as he orchestrates a symphony of calculated maneuvers. The Macedonian phalanx advances with unwavering discipline, their spears forming a bristling wall against the impending Persian onslaught. Amid the chaos of battle, the clash of steel echoes through the valley as dust and shouts fill the air. Victory hangs heavy in the air as Alexander's forces, with unrelenting discipline, begin to shatter the Persian lines. Inside the opulent Persian royal tent, flickering torchlight casts dancing shadows on rich tapestries, illuminating a scene of subdued chaos. Alexander, weary yet composed, surveys the scene, a study in calm amidst the aftermath of conflict. Defeated and disarmed, the Persian royal guards stand with heads bowed, their posture a stark contrast to the opulence surrounding them. With a calm demeanor, Alexander moves among the defeated, his expression reflecting understanding rather than triumph. Alexander strides into Sardis, the first jewel in his burgeoning empire, hailed as a savior by its liberated citizens. A sea of grateful faces greets Alexander, their eyes reflecting hope and relief as they celebrate the dawn of a new era. In a moment of triumph, Alexander surveys his conquered city, a vision of unity and prosperity dancing in his ambitious gaze. Under the relentless sun, Alexander's forces lay siege to the formidable city of Halicarnassus, a bastion of defiance against the rising tide. The clash of steel and the roar of war echo as Macedonian soldiers storm the city walls, their determination fueled by dreams of conquest. Amidst the chaos and destruction, Alexander leads his troops, his presence a beacon of unwavering resolve. After an age of relentless conflict, the Macedonian banner is raised above Halicarnassus, signaling the triumph of Alexander's ambition. Alexander arrives in Gordium, where the legendary Gordian knot awaits, a symbol of impossible challenges and ancient prophecies. Before the enigmatic knot, Alexander's brow furrows in concentration, as he contemplates the ancient legend that binds destiny to its unraveling. As the recounts the legend, the weight of destiny settles upon Alexander, setting the stage for his fateful decision. With a dismissive tone, Alexander defies the ancient prophecy, declaring, "This is absurd." On the plains of Issus, the clash of empires erupts as Alexander confronts Darius III in a battle for destiny. Alexander's forces surge forward, a relentless tide of steel and fury crashing against the Persian lines. Amidst the chaos, Darius III witnesses his once mighty army buckling under the relentless assault, the air thick with the screams of the fallen. As the battle turns irrevocably against him, Darius III makes the agonizing decision to abandon his army and flee. Darius flees the battlefield, leaving behind a broken army and a shattered empire in his wake. In the dim confines of Alexander's war tent, a feast is laid out, a stark contrast to the apprehension etched on the faces of Darius' mother and wife. Alexander gestures warmly towards the table, laden with food, attempting to ease the palpable tension filling the air. Darius' mother and wife stand frozen before Alexander, their anxiety palpable in the dimly lit tent. Under the vast sky, Alexander's army encircles the island city of Tyre, a scene of impending doom. Months turn into a relentless struggle as Alexander's ambition faces the unwavering resilience of Tyre. Stone by stone, the causeway rises, bridging the gap between ambition and destiny. With the causeway complete, Alexander's forces surge forward, their relentless advance signaling the city's fall. In the climactic clash, the siege ends as Alexander's army triumphs over Tyre, marking a decisive victory. Under the blazing sun, the siege of Gaza unfolds as Alexander's forces clash against unwavering resistance. Amidst the chaos of war, a maelstrom of dust and steel, the unwavering spirit of Gaza's defenders meets Alexander's relentless ambition. Despite fierce resistance, Alexander's strategic genius and the might of his army forge a path through the city's defenses. In the aftermath of battle, the dust settles, revealing Alexander's triumph over Gaza, a testament to his unyielding will. Beneath the relentless sun, Alexander forges ahead, guiding his army through the unforgiving expanse of the Egyptian desert. Enduring blistering winds and scorching sands, the soldiers' unwavering loyalty to Alexander fuels their march. Alexander, a beacon of resolve, sets a blistering pace, his ambition driving his army across the arid wasteland. Bathed in golden sunlight, Alexander arrives at the oasis of Siwa, where the whispers of destiny await amid the swaying palms. As Alexander approaches the ancient temple, the oracle of Ammon proclaims, "You are of divine lineage, Alexander." The oracle continues to reveal his fate. Your destiny is intertwined with the gods. With newfound conviction ablaze in his eyes, Alexander declares, "I knew it, and the world shall know it too." Amidst the golden sands of Egypt, Alexander stands as a visionary, watching his dream city rise under the relentless sun. With a sweeping gesture, Alexander's eyes gleam with the promise of a beacon of knowledge and art, a testament to his boundless ambition. Alexandria will stand for centuries as the city becomes a lasting legacy. The city is envisioned as a center of learning and culture, a testament to his ambition. On the plains of Gaugamela, two mighty armies clash in a monumental showdown. Alexander, a young and fearless leader, surveys the battlefield with unwavering determination, his gaze piercing through the chaos. Darius III, king of Persia, watches helplessly as Alexander's tactical genius unfolds, his hopes of victory fading with each passing moment. Amidst the deafening roar of battle, Alexander's cavalry charges, shattering the Persian lines and turning the tide of war. Victory is seized as Alexander's forces overwhelm the Persian army, marking a decisive triumph in the annals of history. Alexander strides into Persepolis, his eyes drinking in the city's decadent glory. He feasts his eyes on the vast treasures of the Persian kings, his face a canvas of victory and cold strategy. Amidst the spoils of war, Alexander's ambition burns brighter than the Persian gold, foreshadowing a ruthless future. Under the cloak of night, Persepolis is engulfed in a maelstrom of fire, its ancient stones bearing witness to the twilight of an empire. Alexander, a figure of youthful determination, beholds the spectacle as flames rise to consume the grandeur of Persepolis. As soldiers ignite tapestries and wooden beams, the air reverberates with the fierce crackle of the inferno, a symphony of destruction. The roar of the blaze becomes a pyre to an empire, its echoes resonating across the ages. Beneath the relentless sun, Alexander's relentless pursuit of Darius III unfolds across the endless plains, a chase etched in dust and desperation. The once mighty Persian army, now fractured and disheartened, collapses under the weight of Alexander's unyielding assault. In a moment of betrayal, Darius falls, struck down by the hands of his own satraps, his lifeblood staining the parched earth. Alexander arrives to find Darius lifeless, a storm of respect, regret, and triumph swirling within his heart. Alexander mourns the death of his rival, a complex mix of respect and regret clouding his victory. Beneath the relentless sun, Alexander's legions clash against the rugged warriors of Bactria and Sogdiana, their fates entwined in a dance of conquest and resistance. In a realm of shadows and dust, Alexander, the master strategist, adapts his war to the guerrilla tactics of the untamed tribes. Amidst the chaos of battle, every shadow conceals an enemy, and every victory is etched in blood and sweat. Alexander's resolve hardens as he faces a war unlike any he has known. In the heart of Alexander's camp, torchlight casts an ethereal glow on the faces of Macedonian soldiers and Bactrian nobles, a scene ripe with anticipation. Alexander, radiant in his armor, stands before Roxana, a Bactrian princess whose beauty shines even in the dim light. As a priest chants ancient words, the air becomes thick with vows of commitment and the weight of political strategy. The intermingling of Macedonian and Bactrian cultures under a canopy of flickering lights, sealing an alliance with words and gazes. Under the scorching sun of Central Asia, Alexander's ambition ignites, birthing new cities and fortresses that stretch his empire to the horizon. Amidst the dust and heat, Alexander's vision materializes as his empire's tendrils reach into uncharted territories. In the heart of Central Asia, the seeds of a new empire are sown, promising both prosperity and conflict. Encamped under the vast sky, Alexander's troops stand as a sea of weariness and discontent, their spirits crushed by relentless campaigns. Sensing the looming mutiny, Alexander prepares to ignite their fading zeal with words of glory, riches, and an immortal legacy. His voice, though laced with weariness, resonates with the fiery command. I see the fatigue in your eyes, the longing for home in your hearts. But victory is within our grasp. With each word, a spark of their former fire rekindles, fueled by the promise of claiming their destiny. Alexander's final cry echoes through the ranks. Let us march onward, together, and claim our destiny. Let history remember us as conquerors. Reluctantly, the mutiny subsides, replaced by a weary determination as they brace themselves for the march onward. On the banks of the Hydaspes, two mighty armies clash in a maelstrom of steel and fury as Alexander meets Porus in a bloody dance of conquest. Amidst the chaos, Alexander's relentless drive and tactical genius ignite a spark of triumph, cutting through the ranks of Porus' courageous warriors. Though Porus fights with the heart of a lion, his valorous stand faces the inexorable tide of Alexander's ambition, sealing the fate of kings and empires. As the sun sets on the battlefield, Alexander emerges victorious, his silhouette a testament to a conqueror's ruthless ambition and the heavy price of glory. Bathed in the soft glow of lamplight, Alexander surveys Porus, a flicker of respect momentarily softening his stern gaze. With a magnanimous gesture, Alexander declares, "Your courage is undeniable, Porus. You will continue to rule your kingdom, but as a vassal of mine." Alexander's proposition hangs heavy in the air, a mix of respect and subjugation defining their intertwined destinies. At the Hyphasis River, Alexander's exhausted army makes a silent declaration of defiance. In a chorus of dissent, the soldiers cry out, "We will go no further." Their spirits broken and hearts yearning for home, the soldiers unitedly chant, "Home! We demand to return home." Under the scorching sun, Alexander guides his exhausted army through the endless, desolate terrain. The relentless sun transforms the sandy expanse into a shimmering mirage, intensifying the soldiers' fatigue. Etched with weariness, each soldier pushes onward, their resolve tested by the harsh environment. On the distant horizon, the ominous silhouettes of enemy tribesmen emerge, signaling impending conflict. Under the relentless Gedrosian sun, Alexander's grand army is humbled, each step a testament to suffering and loss. Men and beasts alike succumb to the desert's wrath, their strength and spirit fading with each grain of sand. The once mighty army now reduced to a desperate struggle for survival, with each fallen soldier marking the desert's grim victory. Alexander the Conqueror arrives in Susa, ready to weave Persian customs into the fabric of his burgeoning empire. With a vision of unity, Alexander champions the blending of Macedonian and Persian bloodlines through intermarriage. Alexander seeks to meld the best of both worlds, fostering a new era of cultural harmony between Macedonians and Persians. A tapestry of cultures unfurls in the heart of Susa as Macedonian officers and Persian noblewomen unite in a mass wedding, a spectacle of vibrant colors and opulent displays. Alexander's vision takes form as a calculated alliance blooms amidst the joyous chaos, forging a unified ruling class from two mighty empires. Amidst the joyous celebration, subtle power dynamics are on display, hinting at the complex political motives behind this union. Inside Alexander's palace, a storm rages behind Alexander's eyes as the empire's burden weighs heavily on his shoulders. In the opulent halls, whispers slither like vipers as Macedonians and Persians vie for Alexander's attention, creating an atmosphere thick with tension. The palace holds its breath, bracing for the tempest that threatens to erupt from Alexander's brooding silence. On the vast plains of Opus, Alexander confronts his weary Macedonian troops, their faces mirroring the relentless strain of years of conquest. A grave revelation unfolds as Alexander recognizes the deep-seated weariness etched in the eyes of his loyal veterans. In a bold move to quell the impending uprising, Alexander's resolute voice booms across the assembly, offering a surprising resolution. With a voice that resonates with both command and compassion, Alexander declares, "Let those who wish to return home do so. I dismiss you with honors, my loyal veterans. Go now and enjoy the fruits of your labor." In the wake of Alexander's unexpected declaration, a stunned silence descends upon the troops, quickly giving way to murmurs of disbelief and ultimately acceptance. In the heart of Babylon, Alexander's court radiates unparalleled opulence, a dazzling embodiment of his vast empire and formidable power. Foreign ambassadors and dignitaries gather in Alexander's court, their presence a testament to his widespread influence and authority. Every detail, from the shimmering gold to the flowing silks, whispers tales of conquest and dominion, reflecting Alexander's unyielding ambition. Under the scorching sun of Babylon, Alexander surveys his empire from a grand balcony, his ambition burning brighter than the desert heat. With sweeping gestures and a voice raspy with exertion, Alexander unveils his audacious plans for new expeditions, his generals hanging on to every word. His eyes gleam with feverish intensity as he charts a course for Arabia, envisioning new territories ripe for conquest. Though weakened by illness, Alexander's spirit remains unyielding, driven by an insatiable hunger for power and eternal glory. In the heart of Alexander's chambers, a sudden fever descends upon the mighty leader, casting a shadow over his indomitable spirit. His once vibrant energy now quelled, Alexander succumbs to the relentless grip of illness, rendering him powerless to command his vast army. The weight of a fallen king settles heavily in the room. In his final moments, Alexander lies on his deathbed, encircled by his loyal generals and advisors. With his last breath, Alexander struggles to utter his final words. Lost in the echoes of history, the air thickens with unspoken questions and fading hope as Alexander's final words remain a haunting mystery. In the scorching heat of Babylon, Alexander the Great succumbs to fate at just 32, his life extinguished like a candle in the wind. The empire, once unified by his indomitable will, now teeters on the brink of collapse, plunged into turmoil as ambitious generals circle like vultures. As the sun beats down on the ancient city, the shadow of discord looms large, foreshadowing the bloody battles to come in the scramble for supremacy. Amidst solemn silence, Alexander's body begins its final journey back to Macedonia, marking the poignant end of an era. The weight of history and the sorrow of a nation converge as Alexander's cortege moves forward. In a sea of mourners, a collective grief blankets the land, echoing the magnitude of Alexander's loss. The sun casts long shadows, symbolizing the setting of an empire and the fading glory of a legendary leader. Under the radiant sun, Alexander's tomb stands as a timeless monument, drawing pilgrims from distant lands. Centuries fade as Alexander's legacy, a blend of conquest and profound vision, continues to inspire awe and reverence. The tomb stands as a beacon of his enduring impact, drawing those who seek inspiration and reflection on the extraordinary life of a legend. On the vast battlefield, Alexander orchestrates a symphony of strategy, leading his troops with unmatched tactical genius. Amidst the chaos of battle, Alexander's focused gaze pierces through the smoke and steel, guiding his forces to victory. With unwavering resolve, Alexander charges forward, embodying the spirit of courage and inspiring his soldiers to fight with unmatched valor. Inside the royal tent, shadows dance across Alexander's face as he weighs his next conquest, advisors buzzing like distant storm. Alexander enters the conquered city, heralded by cheers that barely mask the city's subdued spirit. The cheers of the crowd echo like a hollow promise, their faces a canvas of forced celebration and quiet desperation. Amidst the forced celebration, wary glances betray the true sentiment of the conquered, their eyes whispering tales of resistance and resilience. In the opulent palace, Alexander feasts alone, a solitary figure amidst the grandeur. The flickering candlelight dances across his face, revealing the weariness etched into his features. His isolated presence hints at the profound loneliness that accompanies ultimate power. Beneath the unyielding sun, an army trudges through the desolate expanse, their determination etched against the horizon. Alexander, a figure of indomitable will, drives his weary troops onward, his presence a beacon of hope in the sea of sand. Each step is a testament to their unwavering resolve as they confront the relentless trials of the desert. In the heart of the tent, Alexander and Roxana steal a moment of tenderness. Their embrace, a fragile sanctuary from the looming specter of war, speaks volumes of unspoken fears and hopes. In the quiet sanctuary of their embrace, time stands still, shielding them briefly from the harsh realities of the battlefield. Under the vast sky, soldiers find fleeting solace in the cool embrace of the river, a temporary escape from the shadow of war. From afar, Alexander surveys his men, his face etched with contemplation as he considers the weight of their shared destiny. In a moment of quiet reflection, The river reflects not only the sky but also the unspoken burdens carried by each warrior. The council room buzzes with tension as generals engage in a heated debate, their voices echoing under the dim, flickering torchlight. Amidst the chaos, Alexander's imposing presence commands silence, his sharp gaze cutting through the room. The room falls silent, all eyes turning to Alexander, as if awaiting a thunderclap. A serpentine army threads its way through the mountain pass, an ominous silence amplifying the lurking danger. Sheer cliffs loom on either side, their shadows a constant reminder of the peril that surrounds the army. The rhythmic clatter of hooves and the creak of leather punctuate the tense silence, each sound a harbinger of potential conflict. Danger lurks around every bend, an unseen enemy ready to unleash chaos upon the unsuspecting army. Within the ancient temple, Alexander's homage to local gods is a stark tableau of reverence and subtle ambition. His every gesture, though steeped in tradition, hints at an underlying assertion of power. The sacred space becomes a stage for a silent dance of faith and conquest. Against the backdrop of a defiant, fortified city, Alexander orchestrates his relentless siege. With unwavering resolve, Alexander gestures emphatically, his command echoing across the battlefield. The city trembles as the relentless assault intensifies, a maelstrom of fire and fury. In the desolate confines of a prison cell, shadows dance across cold stone walls, where Alexander confronts his captured enemy. The enemy leader, though bearing the marks of conflict, seethes with an unyielding defiance that flickers in his gaze. The silence of the prison cell amplifies the unspoken tension between captor and captive, as their eyes lock in a silent battle of wills. In the heart of the sun-drenched forest, Alexander moves with the silent precision of a predator, each step a testament to his raw power and agility. With focused intensity, Alexander nocks an arrow, draws back the string, and prepares to unleash his deadly aim. In a blur of motion, the arrow is released, a fleeting moment of deadly grace as it streaks toward its unseen target. The scene opens into Alexander's dream, a surreal landscape where grand ambitions and deepest fears collide in a chaotic dance. Images flicker and morph, each frame a fleeting glimpse into the turbulent depths of Alexander's subconscious. The boundaries of reality blur as Alexander's aspirations and anxieties intertwine, painting a vivid portrait of his inner turmoil. Under the unforgiving sun, soldiers march on, their loyalty unwavering despite exhaustion. Each step echoes with the weight of duty, their faces etched with determination and fatigue. Their weary souls are bound by an unspoken commitment, pushing through the pain to reach their unknown destination. In the dimness of his quarters, Alexander wrestles with words, a solitary candle casting long shadows that dance with his thoughts. His brow furrows, a storm of conflicting emotions brewing beneath the surface as he puts pen to paper. In this sanctuary of solitude, the weight of leadership gives way to a rare moment of unguarded tenderness and longing. Chaos erupts as a sudden ambush plunges the army into disarray, their faces reflecting the terror of impending doom. Amidst the pandemonium, Alexander emerges as a beacon of courage, his face set with determination, his blade mirroring the sun's fierce resolve. His sword, a gleaming extension of his will, cuts through the air, a symbol of defiance against the encroaching darkness. Alexander's fearless charge inspires hope, a rallying cry against the overwhelming tide of the ambush. In the stillness of night, Alexander seeks solace through meditation, his silent quest unfolding amidst the surrounding turmoil. Bathed in the soft glow of candlelight, shadows dance around Alexander as he seeks inner peace. The room is a sanctuary of shadows, where peace and chaos meet. Alexander wanders through the Babylon gardens, where beauty and dread intertwine to mirror the weight of his reflections. Amidst the flourishing life of Babylon, Alexander is lost in thought, his face etched with the burdens of leadership and destiny. The gardens offer no solace, only a stark reminder of the heavy crown he wears, as the air itself seems to whisper warnings of what is to come.